Welcome to episode 136 of Soccer over Gotham 2025 Mid-Season Awards Show edition. We have a great show for all of you. Gary, what do we have in this episode?
What is there not to love? Wins going into the break, and it's the mid-season award show, which we love doing. So who did the fans vote for rookie, defender, midfielder, attacker, game changer, and MVP of the mid-season? That's always fun. Big news as Gotham extends the contract of Jailen Howell until 2027. I think her original move has worked out for both player and this club, and we're definitely going to dive into that. Then we will need to talk tactics and how Gotham overcame Bay just putting everybody in the middle of the park. And while they were missing Howell, Carter, Martin, so it was a lot. And why Jace was a home run addition for this club. Then we will look forward to the break. But first, we have an interesting August coming up. We got 4 home games in a row, which is pretty interesting. But first, Ruby, how are you?
I'm doing great. I am actually so glad it's a lot cooler today. I've
Oh
been
gosh,
like
yeah.
burning. Yeah, it was crazy. It's this heat wave was something serious. And I've been like I love the heat, but it was a little bit too extreme. So I'm kind of happy today is like cooler. It was nice. How you been, Gary?
Been good. I watched that that documentary on called Poop Cruise on Netflix.
Oh my God.
Wild,
I started
wild.
watching it, but I have not finished it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is, well, I'm up to the part where like everything goes dark.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
I'm
the
not,
yeah.
yeah, I'm like maybe like 20, 15 minutes in. I mean, you can
Yeah. It
spoil it. I
gets
don't
way
care.
worse. Yeah. I'm not a like I get seasick on like ferries, but I don't think it would be the same. Like on small boats, perfectly fine. Just
Yeah.
ferries for some reason, but I don't know about ginormous ships like that. So I don't know. It makes
I
me. I'm a land person.
Yeah, I always said like I don't want to get on a cruise ship. Even before like this documentary came out
Hmm.
on Netflix, like people are like, "Oh, we should do a cruise," and I'm like, no, I'm not doing a cruise." Something about being in the middle of the ocean and not seeing land that like gives me I don't know. I think I'm gonna get like a panic attack or something. Like it just terrifies me.
Yeah.
Then I don't know how to swim. No, I do know how to swim. I don't know how to float. If you tell me go from here to there, I'll go. I'll swim there. But if you
Hmm.
tell me like stay in this place, that's a little difficult for me. So that's another reason I do not want to go on a cruise. A lot of people say it's fun. Sometimes there's even like great deals to go on a cruise, but yeah, that's not for me. If you tell me like let's take like a sailboat ride to see the sunset for and it's 2 hours and you come back, I'm perfectly fine with that. But yeah, I just can't do that.
Not with you. Like I can get from like one place to the other, but like it just don't ask you to stay in one place. Yeah. But jumping onto the show now, shout out to Cloud9, the best supporter group in the game. They raised a total of $4,110 for their Pride Raiser
Ooh,
for the month. Awesome. 52 pledges at $411 pledged per goal. 10 goals were scored. So
wow,
fantastic. Well done. We were involved in that. We donated as well. So always happy to donate to that charity. Well done.
that's awesome.
So I figured out how to do polls on Instagram because I'm never on there because it's a fake place. But so we did the award show on both Twitter and Instagram. So we're going to use both of them for our award show. So follow us on all the platforms: Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Blue Sky. On YouTube, subscribe to us, click the bell, all those things because we're going to be on there mostly. We need to talk about something. Hopefully, I'm going to expound on this in another podcast, but I put a statement out for our podcast with the support of everyone involved here that we here at Soccer Over Gotham stand united with our immigrant communities. We support the No Kings protest, and we applaud Angel City SC for speaking out against the ICE raids in LA and throughout this country.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's so crazy what things are happening right now in the United States. Honestly, I've been living in the US for over 25 years now. I came here when I was 8 years old. So, yeah, I'm an immigrant that had the opportunity to come to this country and take all the opportunities this country has. And it's just heartbreaking to see what's going on. And I stand with my Latino community and everyone, all the immigrants out there. It's heartbreaking, but we have to stay strong and we have to unite and stay together.
There's no soccer over Gotham. There's no soccer in the U.S. if it's not for immigrants. So we're all here because of them. And yeah, and then over the weekend, Gotham put a really nice statement up on the big screen at the stadium. It said, "We stand alongside Angel FC in support of our local immigrant communities. There's no Jersey or New York without immigrants. There's no football without immigrants." And yeah, agree. And thank you to the club for
Yeah.
standing strong and putting that out there. It's not always easy to do that as a brand. So good on them. So, Ruby, let's jump to some positive news. Jailen Howell was brought over to this club. Admittedly, I'd seen her go from top draft pick to racing, and racing was a mess, and they just did not use her in the right way. And I felt that she regressed a bit. And I was glad to see her go to Seattle. That's a team with a little bit more structure, and she could have been doing really well there. I also thought that she needed to get back into the national team picture. Gotham brings her over, and I was like, okay, this is a pretty good fit. She's very similar to Martin, but I think that her physicality and her game IQ has been on display, and I think this has worked out for both Gotham and her. And the club announced they extended her contract to the 2027 season, and honestly, just couldn't be happier.
Yeah, this is such great news. How locking in, she's locked in now through 2027 is huge for Gotham. I feel she's been a rock in the midfield all season, not just showing up every game, but really impacting every match. The fact that she started ever since like joining pretty much says a lot about like the trust that the coaches have on her, and honestly, I think she's earned it.
Yeah, if you look at her stats are ridiculous. Like she's in like the top 90 percentile of every category for midfielders. She's been awesome. She's leading the team on the defensive side of the game. She's getting more involved in the offensive side of the game, and I feel like her game is expanding, and she feels comfortable here. And when Jailen played like I think maybe 2 or 3 games here at Gotham, after the post game presser, I had asked Amaros like how he felt about her joining the team. He said not only is she a good player, but she's an incredible person in and outside the locker room. So he's like just so happy that she's here, and we want to keep her here. So
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
again, works out.
Yeah, and this is extension just makes sense. She's already such a core part for Gotham, for Gotham's identity. And if they're serious about like having her here long term, keeping someone like Hal is exactly how you build that foundation here at Gotham. And I'm so excited to see how she continues to grow with the squad.
Yeah. This past game, which we'll get to in a bit, could have definitely used Howell in the midfield in this one. But yeah, just a home run. Just grateful to the team for putting that in place. Let's jump over to some fun, which is the mid-season award show. So first, always, the poll that I do not make, which is goalkeepers, because why would we? And just obviously Berger's played everything but 5 minutes of the season. So it would be her. She's played 1,168 minutes. She's had 18 high claims, 81% pass accuracy, 109 accurate long balls, 4 clean sheets, and she's about a 7 on FOTMOB for just her stats, and just been a rock for us, and we just couldn't be happier.
Yeah, solid.
Absolutely solid. And then we have Rookie of the Mid-Season, which I thought this one was going to be a lot of fun, and I was happy to see the fans enjoyed this one as well. We had a comment from Iron Roadie Rebel, who said, "This right here is the most unfair question ever. I'm at a crossroads and I don't know how to proceed. On one hand, Lily Real is for real, and I have major defensive bias, but on the other hand, Shapansky has been an assist leader, contributing to 4 of 10 of Esther's goals. What to do? Well, The fans chose Real 52% over Shapansky at 47.9. Ruby, do you agree with that?
That one was really, really close. And yeah, I've been like torn between this one too. But I do choose Real. I agree. She has been an absolute standout this season. Honestly, she's been Gotham's most consistent and impactful rookie. And that what makes her so impressive is how seamlessly she's like adjusted to the pace, the physicality of the NWSL, which we know like it's at a high level. She doesn't play like a rookie at all. She's already logged in major minutes with Gotham. She's won like key tackles, and I think she's a really smart player on the field. You can tell she's earned the trust of her teammates as well as the coaching staff. And for a rookie, like she has that presence, and that's special.
Yeah, it's obviously close. I do agree that it's Real by like a hair.
Yeah.
Real has played about 200 more minutes than Sarah has, and the call up to the national team, which I think they're playing with tonight or tomorrow.
Tonight.
Remember tonight? Okay,
Yeah.
very good. So yeah, we get to watch her with the full national team. So I think that kind of gives it a little bit of the edge there. But good on Real. I mean, Sarah's got 4 assists already this season, and I'm hoping she can get into double digits by the end of the season. She's been awesome. And as the team gets more comfortable with her and she gets more comfortable with the team, I think she's going to be able to put on a show later on in the season. 25 fouls won, which is awesome for Sarah. She's been getting fouls near the box, getting a lot of free kick opportunities for them. But it's not just about what she does on the offensive side. We're going to talk about this later, but like Gotham attackers need to love to defend. And Sarah has 34 recoveries as an attacking midfielder, which is a lot. Very good for her. She's got 28 successful crosses, just awesome. And Lily's like, her stats are just unreal. She's got a goal and assist, 44 recoveries, 24 tackles made, 65 duels won, just awesome. And we just couldn't be happy with these two rookies. We knew they were going to be good. Didn't know they were going to be maybe this good, but they're that good. So yes, I agree with everybody. It slightly goes to Real. Maybe by the end of the season, Sarah can pull ahead, but we'll see what happens. On to defender of the midseason. This is like an Ali Krieger situation. It's gonna be Ali Krieger. It's gonna be Emily Sonnet. 74%, 11% for Freeman. Carter 6%. A Real 9% as well. Do you agree with that, Ruby?
Oh yeah, definitely. Sonnet has been the anchor for Gotham's backline this season. No questions. She brings such a leadership, and she's so stable, so she brings the stability. You can see the entire defense feels more organized and confident when she's on the field, and her performance is just incredible. She elevates the players around her. She communicates constantly. She steps up in big moments, and I feel she leads by example. And right now, she's just Gotham's best defender, and I will say that she's one of the best in the league.
What's funny about Emily is she doesn't generally do much defending. She is the central defender, but she's rarely doing like any defense, like real defensive work. Like we had like Ali Krieger. Ali Krieger was tackling everybody on the field.
Yeah.
Emily has 7 tackles this season out of like over 10 games. So she gets less than a tackle a game. But she's just the leader from the back. She's on the ball all the time. She's making the right plays. She's manipulating defenses. She's pulling teams around. She's just being a pest to the other team. She's seen everything, done everything, and her soccer IQ is like, I don't know, 200 or 1,000, whatever, unlimited. She's just been awesome. But like the thing for Gotham, which makes the most sense, is that she's such a prolific passer out of the back. 90% passing accuracy this season, which is just crazy for a central defender. She never gives up the ball. She makes the right passes at the right time, pulls teams around, and she's had 64 recoveries, which is a lot of recoveries.
Yeah.
But yeah. Midfielder of the midseason, this was another interesting one. I was expecting Howell to do better. Howell won the Instagram awards.
Interesting.
Twitter, Shapansky won at 53%, Howell won at 36% on Instagram. So which one do you agree with, Ruby?
Oof. Think I'm gonna have to go with Howell. I feel defensively she's relentless. She wins she wins tackles, she tracks back hard, she disrupt plays. What makes her stand out is how complete her game is. And I feel she reads the field like a veteran, and she never stopped working on the field, and now that she's added her first season goal, like, who knows, maybe she'll be providing and contribute on both ends of the field now.
Yeah, it's still wild that was her first goal. This doesn't sound right.
Right.
But 1,079 minutes, 69 recoveries. Excellent on the defensive side of the game. 98 duels won. She's in the mix all the time, and she's winning fouls on the other side. She's one of the most foul players, I think, in the league at 32 fouls. She's made 361 successful passes. She's been a rock, as you mentioned earlier, in the middle of the field. Couldn't be happier. Glad that Gotham extended her. For me, again, it's Howell. I think Sarah has a chance here, but
Yeah.
as we talked about, Howell's stats are just honestly through the roof. She's got a 62% dribble success. She's got 32 touches to the opposition's box. She, again, won 32 fouls. Let's see what else we got here. We got aerial duels, 64%. Duels won in general, about 60%. Just ridiculous. And she's won 9 possessions in the final third. Everywhere, she's the engine that's making this team go in the midfield. And
Yeah.
we definitely saw what we were missing against Bay FC this weekend, which, again, we'll get to. Best attacker. This is another, like, Ali Krieger type thing, but, like, it's Astaire, right? There's
Yeah.
nobody else. Jace is now the only player besides Astaire to have more than one goal.
If I have to pick between Astaire and Astaire, we're going to go with Astaire.
It's Astaire. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
amazing.
yeah, I mean, she has been everything you want in a striker. She's clinical, she's intelligent, she's consistent. She's not just Gotham's top goal scorer, but she's one of the players that changes the game with her movements and just be able to finish that ball. And what makes her so effective, it's her positioning. And she always seems to be in the right pocket of space where she slips between the center backs, or her timing, it's like perfect, and she's there for those air balls. And I don't know, like, whenever she gets a chance, she buries it. No hesitation, no second touches, just pure instinct.
A complete player for a striker. She's not just a striker. She jumps into the midfield, and as we talked about earlier, we're going to talk about later, Astaire loves to defend, which is a rare quality in a center forward. She got 40 recoveries on the season. She jumps back into the midfield. She's always harassing midfielders and other defenders. She's everywhere. She's super fit. Sometimes I feel like we give her a little bit too many minutes. I would like to rest her a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. She has 10 goals on the season, leading the league, and she had 9 goals last season in total.
Yeah.
So she's on a tear right now, and 2 penalties won. She has a 70% dribble success. What more can be said? Again, 40 recoveries. Love it. She's been amazing. Now, this one I thought would be fun, too, which would be the game changer, Torres and Bernina. And Bernina edges Torres out in both the Twitter and Instagram polls at about 60%. Your thoughts, Ruby?
Yeah, I agree. I feel Bernina has quietly been one of the biggest game changers for Gotham right now this midseason. She might not always be on the stat sheet, but I feel her impact is just undeniable right now. I'm gonna say it again, Gary. Every time you say, like, "Oh, you guys are not giving her minutes," boom, she starts and they give her minutes, and she plays so well. So I don't know what's why she's not consistently in the starting 11 for Gotham. But yeah, she knows when to push forward aggressively and when to recycle possession. And I feel like she keeps the play alive, and I saw that with Bay FC this weekend.
I agree with the fans here. Torres, as you guys know, I'm a big Torres stan. I like Taryn Torres a lot, and I always feel like Taryn Torres could get to another level, and I'm always like wanting more from her. She's got all the tools. She can be a top midfielder in this league, but I feel like there's always something that she can get better at. Bernini, and I think it's like, what have you done for me lately? Bernini has popped on these past couple games and has been excellent and has changed the game and done a lot of work on the offensive side of the ball, where she's pulling teams apart by being really wide and putting good service. And again, as you mentioned, doing all the little things that don't show up on the stat sheet, but a very high IQ player. I think she's getting better and better. And yeah, I think that Carter and Freeman offer more on the defensive side of the ball. That's where I think Amros probably leaves her off of the defensive side, and that she's been playing more as a right winger, which I think she's been good at. So maybe keep her there, give her more minutes. And with all the injuries we're having lately, keep giving her minutes.
Yeah.
Now, MVP. Esther wins this about 70% all the way through. Berger, Sonnet, and Howell. Howell, 0%. That was surprising to me. I figured she would get like at least 1%.
Right.
But 0 for Howell. Maybe I should have put a reel on there. Maybe she probably would have got like 1 or 2%.
Yeah. Or Shupansky.
Yeah, either way, it is Esther as the MVP. Agreed, Ruby?
Of course, agree. Multiple braces already this season, and just growing that tally. She already has 10 goals this season. She's been the most reliable and I feel the most impactful player and attacker for Gotham. She's just so good, and she's leading the team with confidence.
She's not just like Gotham's MVP. She's a league MVP right now. I don't think there's anybody. I don't even think it's close. You take away the 10 goals from Esther, and what is Gotham?
Yeah,
right?
It was a shame that she was injured last. Not injured. She had to get surgery in her toe last season. So that's why she had to miss a lot of the season last year. So she didn't have that chance. But I feel she's coming back. This is like her comeback season.
Thanks to all the fans who interacted with us, left comments, and voted in the polls. Really appreciate you guys. What makes this show so much fun is listening to the fans, seeing all your voices. And I learned a lot from the fans' comments. Some of the fans are way smarter than me, so...
They are.
All right. So on to this game. Gotham is playing to get above the line right before we had the break. And let's get to the lineup here. This lineup is interesting, a little frustrating, but interesting. Without Howell, without Martin in the midfield, Lavelle slots in. Shupansky is more of a central attacking midfielder, and Torres is in there. Martin drops to the back line, which interesting. But your thoughts on that? Oh, and Brunini up at the right wing. Your thoughts on the lineup?
No wonder LaBelle was a little like, I didn't see much of her that game. I mean, she's always a great player to have on the field, but yeah, she was a little back. I like this lineup. Like I said last week, this was going to test Gotham and see their depth in the roster. So I was glad to see this starting 11. Sonnet, always solid. She's a solid player. So too bad Howell wasn't there, but Esther, so good. You know, she's what you want to have up front for Gotham.
I was a little frustrated with Lavelle sitting so far back. Obviously, when you're out without Howell, you need support back there, but I want her farther up the field. And considering Bay knew that Gotham's a little bit thin in the midfield and overloaded it, it was a little tough going for her in this match. But again, it's her first full start back. She showed some flashes, but I want to see her higher up the field. Hasbo on the bench, and I think the big boost for this team is both Midge Purse and Hogan are on the bench for this one. Both returned from injury. Good to see Midge back on the field. Give us some good hope going into the break. Hopefully the injury wasn't too bad. Didn't look like to be, which is awesome.
I know. I was so happy when I saw Midge as a sub.
First thing I want to talk about is why Jace is a home run. Now, when it comes to Gotham, we talked last week about low pressure teams, the ones that like to sit in a low block, deep in the field. You're only defending 35 yards of the field. You can hit teams on counters. And Bay is a team that was doing that for a little bit in that game because you have Kudanagi, you have Oshawa, so those players that can get out on the break, and Bay tried to do that early on. What makes a team a high pressure team like Gotham is your players are farther up the field. And when you're farther up the field, you win the ball closer to the goal, which we'll talk about later. And the whole point of it is to pressure on the other team, higher up the pitch, get turnovers as close to the goal as possible, and it's 1-2 passes and you're on goal, right? Mm-hmm. You bring your defenders all the way up to the midline, Berger's out to like the 35-yard line, and your forwards are on the other team's 6-yard box. Makes a lot of sense. Why don't most teams do this? Because there's an old saying where if you defend everything, you defend nothing. Now, when your forwards are at the other team's 6-yard box, you're defending 95% of the pitch. You always defend your furthest attacker and all the space behind it. So, and teams can't be offside on their own side of the field. So It's easy for them to break lines, one pass over the top, and if one player is not pressing the way they're supposed to, it's an easy break for the other team. But as far as Gotham forwards go, we talked about this earlier, but Gotham forwards have to defend for most of the game. So you can't just be a player who just wants to get on the ball, get in the box, put the ball on frame. You have to be a player that loves defending. You have to love defending. And Esther is the prototypical player like that. We talked about her. She loves defending, loves jumping back, loves harassing defenders, likes harassing midfielders. And in this game in particular, Jace was excellent on the defensive side of the ball, as well as scoring the goal later on. But she won. She was in 16 duels. That's a very. Ryan used to get into like 16 to 20 duels a game.
Yeah.
Because she was always on the defensive side of the game. But she had 5 aerial duels. She was fouled. She had 5 fouls. She was fouled 3 times. She had 1 clearance, a couple of recoveries. She was awesome on the defensive side of the game, and she was rewarded on the offensive side of the game. And I think she's a perfect fit for what Gotham wants to do, especially their forwards who have to get forward but also have to defend. Jason's been awesome.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I mean, this game wasn't Gotham's cleanest performance, but yeah, just having Jace on the field and doing all the things that she did, it was just amazing. That goal from her, I think it was a long time coming. Like, she deserved that goal a long time ago, but she did not give up all game. That highlight reel moment, how that goal went in, it was so great. It was so awesome to see. And like you said, we have a home run with her here at Gotham. So yeah, I mean, not the prettiest game overall, but Gotham found that breakthrough and that grit in them, and I was so glad they won this game. I was a little scared for a little bit there. I was like, why did Berger just like froze on that first goal? But hey, they took control of the game at the end.
Yeah, let's talk about let's talk about tactics, right? As you mentioned, not the prettiest game for Gotham. If you look at Bay, they had 5 players centrally in the midfield. All their wingers were pinched in, so it was just a mid block, just suffocating the middle of the field, which put a lot of pressure on Torres, Lavelle, and Shapansky. Not having Howell in the midfield, just lacked that bite. And again, Bay was just overloading the midfield, just trying to get Kudanagi behind the back line, and which she did early and often. And if you look at the positioning map, Gotham was very spread out, which is not a bad thing, at all. But if you look at Bay's, they had 5 players sitting in the middle of the park all the time. Now the goal, Ruby, came from, I like this as a player, just creating a little bit of chaos. A chaos ball sometimes just falls your way.
Yeah.
And the ball bounces out of the box, bounces high and into the box. It's one of those things where Gotham's center backs were a little bit too separated. The ball bounces and every player's looking around like, okay, you got this, right? You got this, right? And then Berger comes out late because she was not expecting to bounce through.
Yeah.
It goes past her, I mean, just it was onside by a mile, so this is not like that's not debatable. It was definitely onside. Just unlucky. Sometimes chaos works out for the team.
I know. Just looking at that ball bouncing, just bouncing around and no one really clearing it.
Hmm.
It was a little frustrating. But hey, it happens.
Gotham's got to try that a little bit. Get a little bit of chaotic. Sometimes the goals don't have to be so pretty.
Yeah.
Just sometimes you just need to create a little bit of chaos. Um, Speaking of Gotham as a high pressure team, now I do think people confuse, or not confuse, but put this, they use them interchangeably, which I don't know if they should. High pressing and high pressure are two different things. High pressing is things that you do in moments. You want to shrink a certain part of the field. You want to put pressure on a defender. All teams high press, right?
Yeah.
Every team high presses. Not every team is a high pressure team. So high pressing is for moments like whenever there's a goal kick, teams high press, right? Every team does it. But when teams are high pressure, like Gotham, they're up the field, as we talked earlier. They're trying to they're hunting for turnovers. One mistake, they can turn the ball over. 1-2 passes, you're in on goal. And this was a perfect example of this. Melanson, which, correct me if I'm wrong here, Melanson got stripped in the last game that Gotham played against Bay in that 5-1 game, I think by Ryan. So this is like the second game in a row that she's got stripped by making a bad dribble and led to Gotham goals, if I'm correct. So anyway, Shapansky sees this poor touch out of the back, high pressure in the right place at the right time, slides it out. Esther's just simply not missing from there. What a goal.
Oh, that was amazing. I went to the game this weekend and I was right on that corner where the goal happened. And it was just amazing to see, like, up close. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I took it was me, my wife, my wife's cousin, and my father-in-law. And he had such a great time that game. And we were, like, walking out. He's like, oh, I really like this. I want to come back. And my wife, I was listening to the conversation. My wife was like, oh, yeah, I have to check when's the next game. And he's like, it's August 9th, so he already already knew. Like, yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah. So, maybe next game we'll be all for be there again. So, that was great.
I think you were like the opposite side of the stadium than I was.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And you had a good video of Bernina just hustling down the sideline, keeping the ball in play, getting the ball across. What a hustle.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when she keeps those balls alive. Like, she really hustled, stopped that ball right before going out. And she was able to do a beautiful cross. It didn't turn into a goal, but it was dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Gotham high presses a lot, obviously, but they are a high pressure team. High pressure is your style of play. High pressing is just something you do in moments. But I think, rightfully so, the goal and assist of the week are the same play. Martin, I was unfamiliar with your game, Martin. A beautiful ball over the top, and Bay was pressing for a goal. Dahlkemper had a rough game, had a rough go of this game. She got a silly foul late in the game where it was just frustration foul because she was just not having a good game. But superhero, Jace, the ball could have been going to Esther. It could have been. But Jace just wanted it more than everybody. She comes blowing through, just beats Dahlkemper to the ball, and then just chips it or dinks it over the goalkeeper. What an amazing superhero type of goal.
Yeah, that was such a great goal too. And like I said before, like, this goal was a long time coming. Like, she deserved it. She's been, like, putting in the work. And I was so happy when she finally got that goal.
Yeah, amazing. So let's get to, do you have any player notes before we move on?
Player notes? Yes, I do. Keep talking about Gaze. I mean, she's easily one of the most dynamic players on the field in this match. Even in the game where Gotham didn't dominate possession or field control, she found those ways to shine in this game. And I think that was just pure determination and quality.
Agreed. I think we should remark on Hasbo getting us a whole half to run out there. Lavelle left at halftime. Hasbo came in. thought she looked like a very smart player. Was always in position, was making the right passes at the right time. I think she's got a solid future. Didn't see that much of her, but what I saw, she just looked like a very almost NWSL ready midfielder. I thought she looked decent out there. I want to see more.
Yeah, I want to see more of her too. Some of her passes, I was like, okay, I see what you were seeing and where you were trying to go. Yeah, I definitely want to see more from her.
Yeah, as we mentioned, it was not a pretty game for Gotham. Most of the momentum went towards Bay's side, and let's do some comments from some fans. MUADDIB 1843 on Blue Sky said, not a pleasant rewatch. Biggest concern remains are available center back pairings for the duration of 2025. Agree. Two, availability. Agree. Why re-sign Silva so she can go train with us? Agree. Go to the Euros and have her contract expire. I have so many questions about this roster construction given our back line right now. I think that is pretty spot on. Any thoughts on just that?
Yeah, I do agree with Silva. Like, she's a great player, but we haven't seen much of her, and I like what I see, but if we don't see it often, and I don't know if it's bad luck, I don't know what it is, if she's not meant to be here, but she would be healthy, and then something happened. She'll be healthy again, and then a surgery, or things that are out of her control as well. It does suck. We haven't seen her really play with Gotham. And yeah, like, why were we keeping her? And then just, yeah, now she's gone. But hey, I guess it is what it is. Hopefully Gotham can find another player that could, come instead of her.
I agree with you on Silva. I think her being an excused absence for this last game before the break and her contract is essentially over. I would think that would signal her leaving. And if that is the case, that does open up another international roster spot, I believe, for the team. Gives us some other things to play with. And Ed Troya on Blue Sky said, I'm glad Jace was able to collect one of those long passes and score, but there really wasn't much push forward during the second half. Maybe that's how you attack base formation, but the midfield can become a strength, controlling the action more. Yeah, that's what we talked about. Bay just put all their chips in on running the midfield. So, and we were not going to win the midfield with Hasbo, Lavelle, without Howell. So it was just, Gotham did what they could do. But yes, in the second half, Bay was really pushing forward, and Gotham really didn't have too much as far as push in the second half. I agree there.
Yeah, we definitely missed Howell in this game.
Yeah. Any stats, Ruby?
Yes. So Gotham had 7 shots, and 3 of those on target, while Bay FC had 11 shots, and only 5 were on target.
Yeah, good job on the defense there. My stat is rare instance where when you lose the midfield, Gotham was playing out of their back a lot. Gotham had 179 passes in their own half and only 99 on the other side of the field, which is usually the reverse. So good on Bay for pushing forward and winning a lot of the midfield battle. And they had 140 in our half and only 115 in their own half. So they were on our side more than that. And the field tilt usually is in Gotham's favor. Hero of the match, Stair won at 46%, Jace at 30%, Martin 10, Shapansky at 14%. Ruby, do you agree?
Agree, totally agree. I don't know what else I can say about Astaire. Like, they say all these wonderful things, and of course the fans also see it. So yeah, she definitely deserves Hero of the match.
I disagree 1,000% with this poll. Not even close. When we're talking about like there's player of the match, and then there's like hero of the match. And I don't know if there was ever a more heroic moment than Jace barreling through 3 players, scoring the game-winning goal. That's a huge heroic moment for Jace. So it is Jace for me. All about her.
Yes.
Jump to the standings. Gotham is above the line, but somehow still did not climb after winning. They are at 8th place, and they are tied with the North Carolina Courage, but have a +7 goal differential on the Courage, which is good. And then I mention them every week, but Racing is still above the line with a negative goal differential, -3. I have no idea how they do it.
Oh wow!
They've won some games.
They won their last game. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Were they -5 last week? So yeah, I guess good for them. But yes, Gotham's still above the line. I still think Gotham is better than Seattle, Portland, Racing. They should be higher up there. The Wave has been surprising. I think everybody. I think they're playing really, really well. Surprising that they lost so many players, but they're playing good enough. And this is something interesting to talk about, Ruby. Maria Sanchez going to Mexico, back to Tigres.
Yeah.
Which is wild. From the most highest paid player to wanting to leave Houston, which I don't know, who wouldn't? But went to San Diego and just could not find a spot with a new coach, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that she was not able to fit in neither in Houston or San Diego. She's such a great player. Is she the most talented player in the league? I don't know, but she is talented. I don't want to say that she didn't deserve to get the money that she got, because honestly, everyone in the league deserves to get paid more. That should be like whatever Sanchez got paid. That should be the minimum in this league. Hopefully she finds her spot and she fits in with Tigres when she goes over there.
Yeah, we talked about this, but Houston is a team that has to beg players to go there. Yeah. And so she was in a good position, and she was their best offensive threat, and she was doing well, just playing balls in the box on the offensive side of the game. So they just rewarded her because they had to. Otherwise, she would have went somewhere else and she probably would have made less money everywhere else. But Houston has the cash to spend it on her. Why not? But I think one of the things is as we talk about Gotham, I don't think she would fit here at Gotham at all. No. I just don't think she has a defensive work rate that needed to be on this particular team. That is not to say that she can play for 99% of the other teams, but I just don't think her attributes fit here. Yeah, but good. She's going to Tigres. Hopefully, she gets them a lot of money, and is what it is. There's a game tonight. We're not going to be back till August, which is crazy. I'm going to enjoy the month off. We're going to do some special shows in between, maybe some interviews, but for the most part, we're going to be chilling. Ruby's going away. Noelle's going away. I'm going to sneak away somehow. I'm going to figure it out.
Do it.
But tonight, 9:00 tonight, we get to see, hopefully, Lily Real make her debut against Ireland, which would be crazy.
Yeah.
It will be on Peacock in Spanish and Max in English. Your thoughts on this, on possibly seeing Lily Real make her debut tonight?
I know. I'm so excited. I hope she does get her first cap today with the national team. And I hope she really makes an impact, because I think she's going to be such a great player, such a great addition to the national team. Mm-hmm.
So let's just take a peek at what we're looking at here in August. It's going to be pretty crazy. So on August 1st, we're away at Chicago Stars. Then 4 home games in a row. We got August 9th, Gotham FC, Washington Spirit. Then on the 17th, we welcome Houston to Sports Illustrated Stadium. Then, Ruby, it's back. The CONCACAF W Champions Cup is back. The group stage, Monterrey on the 20th. So a 3-day turnaround there, and then another 3-day turnaround, but at home against the Utah Royals. So it's 4 games in a row at home, and then away at the Orlando Pride, which is going to be a wild game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, so get your discounted parking tickets. It's going to be a lot of home games, a lot of mileage for me, a lot of driving.
Road trip.
Yeah, 3 times in 6 days. That's crazy. It's a lot of miles. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. Any manifestations over this month break?
Oof! Oh my God! I want Midge to, when she comes back, she's able to start for Gotham. That's what I want.
I want center back depth.
Yes.
I mean, if we lost Sonnet, then it's like we're pretty much done for.
Oh my God! Stop! Don't even say that.
Yeah.
No.
So she's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
We need to bring in a defender or two. We got some money.
Yeah.
We got roster spots. We got at least 3 roster spots. Bring in somebody. We need help there. We need help. We could probably use another midfielder. We're pretty good on attackers. If Jessica leaves, then maybe bring in somebody else. But otherwise, I think we're good there. I think the most important thing is getting some backline depth.
Yeah, Gotham needs to let Silva go at this point, honestly.
Any random thoughts before we go?
I guess, yeah. I fell in the trap. I'm watching Love Island, and I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if you heard about it, but just such a crazy reality show. I've never watched it before, and I started watching it this season, and I'm hooked. I can't believe I'm hooked. But yeah, if anyone else watches Love Island, hit me up on Blue Sky.
Sounds good to me. All right, everybody. We will see you soon. Let's go.
Let's go.